I'm Jillian Smith, the Director of the Middleton Council on Aging, and I'm sitting in our board conference room / administrative assistant's office. Some of the challenges that we have here at the COA start with when you pull into the parking lot. We have very limited parking. It's very tight parking, and with having both parallel and perpendicular parking, there's a lot of challenges with maneuvering vehicles, especially large vehicles like our vans. When you come into the building, you have the option to either have to go up a flight of stairs into our main hall or down a ramp onto our lower level floor. In order to go up to the main hall from the lower level floor, you have to take a lift, which is not an elevator. It is literally a lift that you have to hold the button the entire way up, and it's very limited space. So if you're in a wheelchair and you have to use the lift, you can't turn yourself around, which is not comfortable. We also have deficiencies in our storage. The food pantry stores their overflow of food donations in closets, and some of those closets are less than appealing. For our storage for our office supplies and overflow of like decorations and files, we have locked closets on the off of our handicapped restroom on our lower level floor, and then we also have to use space off of our boiler room, and that's pretty much all of the storage space that we have. We were fortunate to have a board member build some storage space in our main hall, which has been very helpful, but still is not adequate storage space for us to have the amount of supplies that we'd like to have for engagement programs and for our meal programs. Our kitchen, as you see when you look at the kitchen, it's a very small space. At the same time, we have our Meals on Wheels preparing to take out approximately 35 to 40 meals in a morning. We also have our kitchen crew preparing our congregate meals for about 25-30 people for in the building. So you can see that it's very challenging to maneuver that space and having multiple people packaging a large quantity of food to go out. You'll also notice in our main hall, it's a beautiful hall, but it's our only real usable space for bringing people together. And it has it's an echoey room. It has strong acoustics. And in that main hall with great sound carriage, we also have our front office in that room. So when the phones are ringing and the front office is trying to handle calls, they're also trying to mute out the sound of our participants, having a great time, laughing and enjoying each other. So that's very challenging for both the participants and for the front office. Our restrooms are small, so it's even though we have handicap accessible restrooms, they're still difficult to maneuver within because they're not very large spaces. One of my largest concerns about this building is our ability to exit the main hall in the case of an emergency. If there was to be a fire in this building, anybody who is disabled and unable to utilize stairs would not be able to use the lift because that is not safe during a fire, and would have to, their only way of exiting the building would be the fire department taking them out the front of the building through those front stairs. So that's one of my largest concerns, because that's a really scary thought to think that we can't get people out of the building in a timely manner in the case of an emergency. You also see that our main office space for our director and assistant director and outreach coordinator is all in the same room, which is a pretty small room and doesn't allow for confidential conversations that might need to happen. So when we dream about the new community center, we think about everybody 50 and older in the Middleton community. So we think about people that are still at work, that are looking towards how to plan for retirement. So we want to be able to provide educational opportunities of what to do when retirement is coming up and how to save for that and how to plan for that. We also want to be able to offer programs in the evening for people that after they've worked a long day and they want to do something special for themselves, they would have opportunities of enrichment or physical fitness to be able to come and be a part of. We're also looking at those folks out there that are newly retired and wanting to still feel that sense of purpose by giving back to the community. We want to be able to have space for people to come in and share their passions with older adults in the community and offer intergenerational opportunities with our older adults. And for our older adults, we want to offer you more. We want to have variety. We want to have options. Right now, with our limited space, we can't do a lot at one time. What we do is very strong quality, but we want to be able to do more of that. So we want to be an opportunity for in a place where people can come and volunteer, share their passions, share their skills, and we want to be a place where people who are looking to make stronger ties in their community. When you're not working anymore, it's hard, and your kids are all grown and your families are all grown, it's hard to know where do you make friends, where do you meet people. We want to be that place for people, and we know that in order to be enticing for people to want to come through the door, we have to have variety because we're so different, we're so diverse, and we want to have something for everybody, and we want to have a lot of stuff for everybody, and we need space to be able to do that and to provide those opportunities. And also, just for our future and helping our young folks value us as aging adults, we want to instill those relationships at a younger age, because the more our youth cares about older adults and understands how important and enriching they are, the more they're going to want to take care of us as they age. And with that said, for those of us that are older, that have so much wisdom and so much, you're the gold of our community. You have so much to give, and our youth are just hungry to learn. This would be an opportunity for us to create those relationships and those opportunities.